Welcome to Talk of the Town, proudly brought to you by Uniquely Nelson. I'm your host, Chris Butler. With me, once again, Simon Duffy,
Morning.
General Manager
Morning.
at Uniquely Nelson. Today, we're coming to you from the Suter Art Gallery on Bridge Street in Nelson. And you may note that there is some backdrop with the beautiful paintings, but in front of that,
We took over.
Yeah.
they've come prepared. Nelson Arts Festival. Joining us today is Annie Pokel and Kerry, Sunderland from
Welcome.
the Nelson Arts Festival. Wonderful to have you guys here.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for inviting us.
I just like to say the way they position the banners,
Yes.
where one's green, but the green's here, and more the peachy, ready
Oh,
things
look,
over
they have,
there.
look.
They are kind of, they're
Yeah.
kind of.
It was
They've
arts.
contrasted.
It was all
Didn't see it
organised in the ether. We didn't
Mm,
have to
it was.
discuss it.
You rehearsed it the whole bit. Well
No,
done.
it's just
random.
Yeah, random. We're just, buzzing on the same frequency.
Oh dear.
Fantastic. Well, that's a good start to the Arts Festival because it's all about buzzing on the same frequency.
Yeah.
First of all, for both of you, can you tell us a little bit about your backgrounds and where you originally hail from?
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, you go
Okay.
first.
I moved to Nelson at the beginning of 2013. I came from a place called Byron Bay or the Byron
Oh.
Shire. I was about
Yep.
20 minutes north of the bay.
Was there this year?
Oh, were you?
Yes.
Beautiful part of the world.
Lovely part of it.
And I met my now husband, David, in Byron, and he said, "Oh, you love Nelson. It's a bit like Byron." So I took him on faith and we moved here, and I love Nelson. So
Is
yeah.
it any-
So is it anything like Byron? Yeah.
It's there's no surf. So
No.
in that regard,
Yeah,
no.
that's
But I
true.
think our beautiful weather, our, lovely winters, generally speaking,
Yep.
notwithstanding what's happening with climate change. But there are elements. There's that alternative vibe a little bit, not quite as full on as it is in Byron, which I think is actually a good thing.
Artworks in Byron, it's quite synonymous for that, isn't it?
Yeah. It's really, it's got a lot of filmmakers who live there, a lot of writers. I was involved in the early days of the Byron Writers Festival, which I absolutely loved, and that sort of kind of led me towards my current career of being a curator of literary programs. So yeah.
And your husband, so you met him in Byron, but what was the connection with Nelson? Is he
Well,
he just liked Nelson?
he's a Kiwi.
But he's not from here.
No, he was born in Invercargill, so
Ah.
he really loves Nelson.
Yeah, right.
And his daughter was born here in Pukapuka, and
Oh.
he lived here in his 20s. Then he was back and forward because his daughter's mum was Australian.
Yeah,
so,
right.
Yeah, and
Oh.
he was keen to. When we met, she'd just finished high school, so he was keen to move back here. And I said, "Okay, I'll come with." Yeah.
Right, nice.
And Annie?
I hail
Yes.
from a bit further away.
Yes, you do.
I'm from northern Germany, so just outside of Hamburg.
Ah,
And I moved to Aotearoa a bit on a whim in 2008 with my husband. We both had a suitcase each, and we thought, oh yeah, let's just go to Aotearoa for 2 years. 16 years on, we're still here.
Did you come on a work visa?
Obviously liked it.
Did you come on holiday or work
Just
visa?
on working holiday because I was only
Yeah.
24. So we just came on a working holiday. He was studying at AUT up in Tamaki. And we quickly ran out of money. So he stopped studying, started working. I researched my master's thesis, and then we just stayed in Tamaki for 10 years. We had our kids there, and then we moved down to Whakatū in early 2018.
Which is the question for both of you, but start with you. Annie. How did you get involved? Had you always had a interest in arts at school as a younger person, or something you fell into, or how did you get involved in the arts?
How do you not get involved in the arts? I would.
Yeah.
For a living.
Yeah,
It's a different. I look at that and appreciate it, but I'm not making money out of it.
So it's for me, it was always part of who I was. Like I was a creative child. Like reading and drawing was my escape as a child, and really loved it throughout school. Had an art teacher who advised me to not pursue a career in the arts.
oh.
So I
Well, at school.
The art
Yeah.
told you not to pursue.
Yeah.
So,
so look at me now.
That's right. Look at me now. Whoever
Yeah.
you are.
In northern Germany.
That's right. You know who you are.
Yeah.
You might want
Around here.
still holding a grudge, 25 years old.
That's
So yeah, it was always kind of part of, creativity, and art was always part of my life in that way. And just decided to, I'm the first in my family to go to university. So everyone's just very not tradie, but just a classic apprenticeship,
Yeah.
kind of pathway. And so just to really top it off, I decided to study something that my family was like, what are you going to do with that? To study art and cultural anthropology. So
And here you are today.
and English literature, and here I am.
So, Kerry, someone encouraged you to get into the arts? Please tell me someone said, go on.
Actually, yes. I probably started writing when I was a huge reader from, I can't remember when. I started writing when I was about 3 or 4. There's a photo of me sitting in the lounge room on the couch writing something when I'm about 3 that my mum took. And so, I was so booky. I was a real bookworm. And English was my best subject at high school. I had an amazing English teacher who really encouraged me. And I wanted a job because my dad was an aviation fanatic and he worked as an aeronautical engineer. And he just inspired me to follow my passion. And I always had complete support from my parents to just do what was my passion. So my ambition was, I thought I want to make a living out of doing what I love. So I studied journalism.
right.
Journalism.
I did a Bachelor of Arts and
Right.
spent, majoring in journalism and comms and stuff like that. So
writing, but you mentioned earlier on, as we're setting up, also in the broadcasting or radio.
Yeah. Well, that's funny because I was a journalist for many years and always on the other side, on your side, asking the questions and interviewing people and writing stories, mainly for print media. And then I thought, well, I would love to do some more, expand on that, probably about 10 years or so ago. But I hated public speaking. I was really terrible at it. And I thought, what can I do to improve my ability to do public speaking? So I thought, I'll start a radio show because at least you won't see me because I'm just, it's just audio. So that's what I did. I did the breakfast show on Fresh FM for a year on Monday mornings in 2015. And that was great because it was live to air and fabulous training ground. And then I went off to Vic and did my master's in creative writing in 2016. And when I came back, it's probably too long a story to tell right now, but I have a podcast called Death Walker's Guide to Life. Death Walker's Guide to Life. Yeah, which I'm currently writing a book about.
So tell us about how you got involved in the Nelson Arts Festival. How did both of you get involved? How did you come across it?
Should I go first?
Yeah.
So I remember, obviously I started attending the Nelson Arts Festival as soon as I moved here. And I remember I think it was 2014, meeting Charlie Unwin at the end of what was then the Page and Blackmore Readers and Writers Programs event and saying, I'm really interested in being involved in, blah, blah, blah. And he said, okay, let's keep in touch. And the next year, Jaquetta Bell, who started the Readers and Writers and program with Judy Fenn, and they co-curated it for the first couple of years. And then she announced that she was leaving. And so I was like, ooh, maybe I could have her job. And fortunately, the timing wasn't great, though, because that was the year I was accepted into the master's program, and you don't say no to that opportunity. So I went off. And so there was a couple of other curators in 2016 and 2017. And then I started in 2018 when Naomi Arnold was the curator of the program in 2017. But she wanted to go back to mainly being a journalist and writer. So I put up my hand and got the job. And
Like me.
7 years later, here I am.
7 years. So what about you, Annie?
Well, for me, it was, I think the key moment was while we were thinking about moving here to Whakatau, we came to visit Nelson over the Labour weekend in 2017. And so bang on in the middle of the Arts Festival. And I was like, oh, this is okay. Yeah, no, we could do this. This is great. Because the buzz about town, so many people in the streets, it just had a really welcoming, positive, exciting vibe about town. And I went, Nikki Green, who has been involved with the festival as a volunteer for many, 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 many years. She took us along to see a show that night, and I had this pivotal moment of went to the festivals at Founders at the time still, and we were at the Energy Centre, and Nikki kind of not opened the door, but did like this move come through the door, and she said, "Welcome to our world." And that just really stuck with me. And then kind of experiencing the shows, and I was like, okay, if we move to Nelson, I want to work for the festival. This is what I want to get involved with. And had to wait patiently for 2 years, but my first role with the festival was actually in 2019, working with Michaela Blackman on the Mass Carnival.
Oh, right. Yes,
So I was the parade assistant, and that was a real I think initiation by fire.
Yeah.
Right into the thick of it. But really enjoyed the experience. We met then, and just fantastic, great team, and haven't really left since.
I have the best story about the 2019 parade.
You mean when it was the hailstorm in the morning and we had to move it?
Yeah, well, no, when it actually happens again.
Yeah.
Because I had my very old dog, Lappy, who's no longer with us. He lived 17 and a half years ago. So I had him with us, and we were sitting with Sophie Kelly and her partner watching the parade. And then all of a sudden I realized Lappy had disappeared and I couldn't find him anywhere. So I had Michaela running up and down, everyone in Hive looking for my dog.
Stop the parade.
And then we found him in the kitchen at Lampreter's. He'd gone in to find, he was hungry, obviously, and he smelt food and he went looking for it. Anyway, so that's a digression.
Still living.
I think they might have given him something. They didn't actually admit to that, but he seemed happier. So.
Bye.
So tell us about the structure of the Arts Festival. So I know that there's been some recent changes to the structure, but you have a trust board, is that right?
Yeah. So the festival was run and delivered by Nelson City Council for its first 24 years.
Right.
So in 2018, that the council made the call that the festival should be its own entity and stand on its own feet. So there was a lot of community engagement, which was a really thorough process, which I also happened to be interviewed for, which is funny because I was really new in town at the time. Anyway, digress. And so since 2019, the festival is run by the Nelson Festivals Trust, as a charitable trust, and with a board that has a mix of council appointed trustees and independents. And so it's not that recent, but
well, it seems recent, but time flies, doesn't it?
time flies. So this year's our fifth festival.
But because you had 2 years down with COVID, didn't you?
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
So the 2020 festival and the 2021 festival couldn't happen as planned. We had small events during that time, and parts of the Pukapuka Talks program were always realized. And maybe that was a bonding moment for us in 2020, because the few events that happened were Kerry's Pukapuka Talks.
Yeah.
And the Night Vision opening night event that I was contracted to program and deliver, which was a huge success, and it was because it was outdoors and with the galleries here in town, so it was possible to do because you don't have the mass meetings. And then in 2021 again I think we launched and 2 weeks later we went into lockdown. That was quite heartbreaking.
That's right.
So we spent a lot of time in Zoom meetings that year. We had team quizzes just to keep morale up. And we did deliver some awesome digital programs that year. So again, Pukapuka Talks and one in-person workshop with
Ruby Solly came and delivered a writing workshop at the library in person. Which was
So as you can imagine, it was quite, because we had it was a new team And so 2022, when we finally got to deliver the festival again, was quite a big deal for us all, and felt like I just got fond memories the other day from October 2022. And I was just like, wow, we were just delirious, all of us. Anticipation and and then just trying, testing it out, like getting the community to get to know us and our programming. It was really exciting. And you might have seen the iceberg.
Yes. That launches at the Theatre Royal that year.
Yes.
Yeah. And we'll come up on stage.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Yeah, that was those 2 launches. Yeah.
This may seem like a really obvious and silly question. What is the main aim of the Nelson Arts Festival?
Well, we
It
can
seems
sum
a
it up
kind of
really.
silly question.
Yeah.
It's obviously, but
We can sum it up really succinctly.
Yeah.
Our aim is to deliver audacious or inspiring and accessible events that basically give people, the community, the chance to see the world slightly differently or see it through other people's eyes or be just blown away by something that they didn't know.
Yeah.
So what if you look at the Arts Festival going back 10 or 15 years ago, or 25 years when they count, what's different now and what you're doing now that would have been, they wouldn't have done 25 years ago? Because lots, as we know, lots of things are society and acceptance and so forth.
Well, I mean, that's a really good question. It's actually our 30th birthday this year. So we're celebrating that. Yep.
Wow.
So the festival in its current form first started, as Annie explained, was run by staff or contractors and staff that worked at Nelson City Council. And it was set up originally as a kind of a fringe event to go alongside the world of wearable art, which was still in Nelson at the time. And then when WOW moved to Wellington, because it sort of needed to be in a capital city, in a big city, with an international airport and so on, in 2005, I think, I hope I got that right, then the Nelson Arts Festival sort of expanded into the space left by WOW. But back in those early days, there was lots of, I think you could safely say that what they were doing was pretty audacious and awe-inspiring back then too, because there was a lot of innovation. There were a lot of, very creative people involved in delivering the festival, both crew and volunteers and local artists and lots of, artists from outside of the region and international, a lot of Australian acts and performers came over for it. So in some ways, I think, it's still got the similar, and that's what we're trying to capture, that, because that was really exciting period for the festival, and that's what we're trying to bottle and capture and deliver again on this in this current time.
And I know that, in previous years, prior to COVID, had a mixture of local, but also, had quite an extensive overseas artists or well-known artists, coming to town. And then, of course, COVID and then funding and things are really tight. The first year it came back, I think you held an event in Trafalgar Street. You blocked off part of Trafalgar Street and up Hardy Street, is that right? And there were some performers there, or was that, am I thinking of something else, maybe?
I think you're thinking of something else.
Yeah, right.
But I mean, we block the streets each year. I mean, ideally, block it for the entire festival. That would be my dream, putting it out there.
But I think
I want people in the streets.
But I think part of it was the fact that I think you had to sort of go back to, your budgets were quite tight, so you had to rely a lot more on local artists and local performers and those kind of things.
In 2020, that was true, which is the one where we went ahead and delivered.
During COVID, though.
During
COVID.
COVID,
right. Yeah.
So it is the festival. So I think the festival program is always a sign of its time.
Yeah.
I think art is one of the key tools we have to make sense of the world and to respond to what's happening around us and to enable us to see different perspectives, so that, rather than just looking at the world through my experience, I actually can be enabled by artists to see it through a different lens. So as Kerry said before, it's always going to be innovative and, different and, possibly challenging. I mean, that's one of the jobs I think that art has. We need to challenge people as well, in a positive, productive way. And so I think when we look at the structure of the festival, it's the aim remains the same. We want to connect people. We want to inspire. We want to spark conversations. We want thought leadership to, progress, and we want to spread joy. I mean,
There's
And-
lots of evidence that the arts contributes quite significantly to well-being.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah. And and the ripple effect that it has, like people come to see a show, then they go to a restaurant, they're gonna, maybe buy an artwork. It's all, they will talk to others in the streets and share the experience. It just really is such a tool for community building. Sorry.
I guess my point was
Yeah.
that when things are tight, you're sort of leaning on what's around you at the time. Are you now getting back to a point where you can go back to that mix of bringing in someone or something from outside the region as well as that local mix?
Yeah. I think I just want to speak to this, it was more COVID and the impact that the pandemic had on us that we had to make those choices.
Yes, right.
We
yes.
have incredible support from Nelson City Council,
Yeah.
who make it happen, and we get really amazing support from our partners who sponsor us and grants. So so choices to not bring in international artists is obviously the cost of travel, but also like the pandemic.
Yes, yes.
Was key to it. And then there's also like a conscious effort to celebrate the amazing art we have here in Aotearoa. Like we have world-class artists here. And every year we have a huge percentage of the program is to celebrate the local talent here and to connect the amazing people who live here in Te Tauihu with artists from international, but also from all over Aotearoa. So that is, a key part of it, this connection and the cross-pollination that happens, but also for our community here to get to experience artists that don't come to town. Usually they wouldn't always come here, and not everyone has not everyone in our community can afford to travel to different places to see all these things. So it's our job to bring it, and to try. So something that I think has really changed since COVID and with our current artistic director is that we really try to bring the art into different places. So to really invite people in, we do things in the boxing ring. We work with Paul at Victory Boxing to do a poetry slam. There we go into the Victory Community Centre. We go out to the country. We do this year. Kerry has put on an amazing writers event at Kismet at a cocktail bar. Just try different things and really bring the art to the people. So I think that's maybe a bit of a, directional change rather than staying at Founders, or that was actually one thing that the community really asked for, to come back into town.
Right. Yes.
So, so we're working with the amazing NCMA, the Suter, the Theatre Royal, the Refinery Art Space, Cultural Conversations, just to be in different spaces so that people feel safe and welcome and can experience outstanding arts experience that in their hood.
So-
And can I just add one quote? You might know that Pukapuka is the patron of the Arts Festival, and he was one of the founding trustees as well. And we had a conversation back in 2022 when we introduced our Pay What You Can ticketing.
Yes.
Which is another way of trying to make the festival more accessible to more of our community. And Pick said this beautiful thing where he was like, I really hope that this Pay What You Can system encourages people to come and see a show that they might not have, chosen before. But he said, I really want to encourage people to be courageous and see something, because it may well change your life. And I think that is just sums it up.
Spot on.
Yeah. So
do something that you don't normally do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are some of the challenges with the Arts Festival? Like, just think of one each. And then I know
only-
45.
personal challenge.
And you only get one.
Yeah, you only get one.
So,
And then one thing you really enjoy the most, which you've kind of touched on a wee bit, but
Yeah.
extrapolate that a wee bit more.
Yeah.
Kerry, what's the one challenge?
I think probably the biggest challenge is because there's so many amazing books being written every year and so many incredible authors that I always want to have more space and program more authors and bring more people, and making those just choices where I have to say, well, I can't fit everybody in, and but then, I mean, it's also delightful, that kind of creative process of of curating the program. I absolutely love it.
You love
But
the
it's-
challenge, don't you?
I love the challenge, but it's always like, oh, sorry, not this year,
Yeah.
but maybe next year.
Challenge is good.
Yeah.
Being challenged
is-
in life.
So
Yeah.
there's so much talent in
Yeah.
art, like
Mm.
Annie said, in
Mm.
Aotearoa,
Yeah.
and especially in publishing in the
Mm.
literary world. It's amazing. So that's the
Yeah.
biggest challenge
Challenge.
and
So
the joy.
yeah, just proportionate. So Kerry's program makes about a third of the overall festival program. So she does.
It has grown a little bit in my time.
Oh,
When it gets to 80%.
I'm really proud of so I have a visual arts background, and so when I started working with the festival in a more consistent role, I was like, we really should grow this visual arts program. We need to do more than just kind of promote what else is happening. I want our own thing. And next minute we are like commissioning a new work this year, so it's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So we're going to have an exhibition by Lissy and Rudy Robinson
It's
Cole.
got a lot of pink in it.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
yes.
the Refinery Art Space, and they are really one of the most exciting artists in Aotearoa at the moment. They do contemporary Ngātoa Māori art, and they crochet. So they have gained quite a lot of media attention last year with their Wharenui Harikoa, which is a real life-sized building of Wharenui, made out of crochet.
Mhm.
And so what they're doing for us is the next iteration of them dreaming, to spread joy and Māoritanga with the world. So they're making a waka,
Oh, wow.
which I think
Wow.
for
Crochet.
Nelson,
Yeah,
it's just
that'd be
so
Perfect.
fitting,
Yeah.
with our connection to the water, like the fact that all these 8 waka came to Te Tau Ihu, was that it's just beautiful. So that's really exciting. Coming back to challenges, I would say I would agree with Kerry. That's the
Mhm.
biggest challenge, like
Mhm.
to have room, and then and also to be able to pay, to have enough funding to actually make all our dreams come true.
Mm.
Because we do get amazing support, but there's not a lot of arts funding in the country overall. It's not seen as the economic power that it is. So
Yeah.
it's always they always make cuts in
Yeah.
well-being, education, and
Yeah,
arts.
arts.
So
Times are tough. Yep.
it's not easy, but I guess for us, we're ready to take on the challenge to make the most of what we can. And
Mm.
yeah.
Do you find, from a commercial point of view, the commercial sector are
Mm.
supportive?
Of the arts festival.
Yeah.
We've got a
Mm.
growing number of business partners.
Yeah.
I mean-
which Annie's responsible for.
I mean, in this environment, it's harder for them to find spare
Yeah,
cash for
totally.
sponsorship.
Totally.
But traditionally, you find on the whole, where they can, they will
Yeah,
support
and a
you.
lot of it is in kind, and in
Yeah.
kind goes a long way.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's so really, we have a really amazing whānau of partners who believe in the festival and who see the value, and they support us where they can. I really genuinely believe that everybody is giving us what they can,
Mm.
and we try to give it back.
Mm.
And
Mhm.
and it's it's sometimes it's as simple as a cafe saying, yeah, I'll shout the artists a coffee. If they come in if you tell them about my restaurant to have a meal here, I'll shout them a coffee. And I just think, little acts of kindness like that go a long way. Or, the amazing people that give us their van to use, or give us an extra shout out on their media platforms, or this,
Or interview us.
or interview us.
Uniquely Nelson's coin to you.
I think there's a really great, there's a really great community here in Whakatū, and people, once you get to know people and there's a trust, then people are really willing to help each other out. And I think that's something that the art always encourages as well, this collaboration and community sense. And we really hope that, the hospitality sector, for example, really feels when the festival's on, because there's, all these artists coming, and people go to shows, go to eat something. And, we partner with the bookstore, and, just really trying to have a real presence outside of the art.
It's one of the
That
events
yourself,
in
yeah.
Nelson that really connects the CBD,
Yeah.
not just for retail and hospitality,
Mm.
but bringing the artists in and bringing the community all as one.
Yeah.
And it's huge. I mean, we're doing quite a bit of marketing for it, but we're sitting there, have three screens, and on the third one, they've got our website.
Mm.
We've embedded your video on the header, and I'll be trying to work I don't know how many times I've watched that.
Yeah.
It goes in and out.
It's an awesome video.
Yeah. That's
You're
great.
into it.
Yeah.
So outside of the festival,
Mm.
what do you do in your spare time?
What spare times?
Or do you just live and breathe it?
At the moment, absolutely.
we do.
Yeah.
I mean, leading up to it too, because of my role, I have to read a lot of books and I love reading. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
True.
That is true. Yeah, I think it really is a living and breathing thing. And I feel so privileged,
Yeah.
really,
Yeah.
that I get to work in a field that actually gives me so much joy back.
Sure.
I mean, I'm so tired a lot of the times because,
Yeah.
events and everything. But it just brings me so much joy just seeing an artist, realize their idea. Sitting in the theater, I love doing this, like turning around, looking at the people and just seeing
Yeah.
people's
Yeah,
faces.
yeah.
Mm.
Experience.
Seeing people cry, seeing people laugh,
Mm.
seeing people cheer, the standing ovations. Last year we had this amazing locally led Project Tens, which was a response to the Nelson Tens by the amazing Māori arts collective Te Oroha. And the audience got up and did a haka for them. And it was just like, oh, yes.
Yeah.
This is what we do this for.
That was the kids too. That was the
Yes.
young people doing it. And that
Oh,
was,
right,
yeah.
Yeah.
just remarkable.
Yeah. Or, you walk out of the theater after a Pukapuka talk and everybody just stays.
Yeah.
People don't leave. They linger and they want to talk to the authors. And it's just, yeah.
That's the-
But when I'm not, I also read a lot and I try to get into the water. That's my favorite thing
Yeah,
about living
same.
here in
Yeah.
Takatoa is that I can just jump on my bike over the hill and I can
Yeah.
jump into this amazing moana that we have here.
Yeah.
We
I
often
go for a
have,
swim.
it's
Yeah.
wonderful. Like in the middle of summer, we go down and go for a swim off the wall.
Yeah.
And,
Oh.
it's like, and often meet, business,
Mhm.
some collaborators and partners. And we have, meetings in the water.
Yeah. A lot of meetings happen off Rocks Road,
Yeah, yeah.
floating in the water.
Yeah.
Bobbing in the water.
Yeah, we do team, lunch break swims and just
Here's
it's
Here's
really
a
my
re-
happy place.
Yeah, me too.
well, it's good. Here's a silly question. And
Are
because
there
it's-
silly questions though? Sam?
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, that's
yeah.
a really silly question because you have such a depth within the program, which you're about to show us, I suspect. What is worth seeing?
What is worth seeing?
There you go.
All of
That's a
it.
silly question.
I
I
mean,
don't know. That's what I say. I'm like,
That is a silly question because
Yeah.
all of it is
Comes
worth
to-
seeing.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
No, you got to pick one.
yeah, you got to pick one. No, no,
20-something% in this year's program is free.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yep.
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 And then,
Yeah. So
what's your top?
oh,
Well, it's hard. It's
that's
like
so hard.
choosing your favorite child. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bit mean.
So,
Like-
so how many events did you say?
We have 56 events in total.
Yeah.
56. Yeah. Did
Wow.
I say 56? Yeah. And a lot of it, over 20% of it is free. So we'd, hopefully everyone will come out for the Mass Carnival, be part of it. This is really our, invitation for everyone here in
In
town.
the whole community.
the whole
come.
community to come and celebrate, wear a mask and, be part of it. Oh my God, but to pick one, that's so
Mm.
hard.
What day? It's,
I already talked about the waka. I really, can we?
Public's starting to turn up.
I've got
They're running.
one that I'd like to talk about because it's one of the we're bringing Saray De Silva and Jade Kake to talk about their debut novels, and Saray and Jade are both going to be amazing people. Already are amazing, but they're going to be the people that you go, oh wow, I saw them when their first book came out, and they've go on to do massive things in literature, not just literature but beyond in the arts more generally. So evoking the diaspora, it's Saturday morning over the Labour weekend here at the Suter in the theatre, and Slip, Rebecca Jensen's Slip, which is a contemporary dance show where you see all the sound effects and everything. Since we're talking recording here, on stage, and so the Foley artist is doing all the sound effects. You can watch him do it while she's dancing, and it's amazing.
So what?
Okay, I'm
what are
gonna
the
pick one.
dates? Oh, you're going to
Sorry,
pick one.
I'm going
Go
to
on.
pick one. Okay, if I have to, one.
Yeah.
I am really excited about Ainga, which is a disability-led dance, theatre, poetry experience by Touch Compass, which is a disability-led arts organization based in Otautahi. And Ainga is the life story of Lucy Fiber, who's an award-winning performer. And so she has, I don't know if I pronounce this correctly, cerebral palsy.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And so she was adopted as a young Pacifica child by a white family. And so it's her whole experience of
Right.
growing up
Yeah.
with a disability as, a person of color within a white context.
Mm.
And it's really looking at disability from a different context, and it's going to be incredibly powerful. It's going to be on at the Theatre Royal for one night only. And it's really putting people with disabilities at the forefront of and challenging us how we tell these stories
And what's
in a
the-
different way.
What's the date?
That's on Tuesday, the 29th.
9th.
Thank you. I'm still learning the dates. Tuesday, the 29th. I get confused with the dates every year. But the festival kicks off officially on the 24th of October,
Wow.
but Slip already starts on the 23rd on the Wednesday night here at the Suter, and Kerry's Authors in Schools program already kicks off on the 23rd as well. But so it's all goal from the 23rd/24th of October.
So tickets all go now.
It's
Is that
all,
right?
yeah.
Program's on, and the website Nelson Arts Festival.
NelsonArtsFestival.nz.
.nz. That's
Yeah.
what we could have a look at. Fantastic.
Yeah. And remember, all tickets are pay what you can, so you choose the tier that's accessible to you. And if you are in the position to choose a higher tier, your contribution
Help someone else.
helps someone else go at a lower price. So it's a,
Oh, interesting.
It's like
that's a
pay
new
it
main
forward.
line. Yeah.
Yeah. And here's my
And,
plug.
What,
Gold
performing?
Diamond.
Yeah,
We're
performing.
beginning with no, there's not a lot of ticket sales for that. We've been running competitions.
Mm.
We've got some tickets from the Nelson Arts Festival, and it's given to us. We're going to wrap them around some hospo tickets and run those competitions starting next week.
Oh.
And get them out there. We've got double passes,
Yeah, double passes.
hospos.
Yeah.
It's night in town. Pick
Yeah.
a hospo
Yeah.
and pick a show.
Yeah, and among this
Yeah.
is Ainga, and also the family show that we're doing this year, which is called Moon, and that's a comedy theatre amazingness here at the Suter Theatre in the mornings on the final weekend with Barney Duncan, who's a comedian. He won the Fred Award this year at the Comedy
right.
Festival, and it's specifically he just had a child, so he's a young dad, and he really wanted together with his partner Alistair, they really wanted to make a show that their kids would like. So bring your
Awesome.
kids. Oh yeah, did we do
There's
this?
the program. Yes, I get the
Oh,
program.
yeah. And it's a real joy to open, because it's like opening a
at that.
map.
It's like
a new
origami.
world.
But easier to fold than a map when you
Yeah,
want to fold it
that's
back
true.
up. I can vouch for that.
And the one I'm looking
And
forward
you can see them all.
to relive my childhood or my adulthood in Europe was the butterfly who flew into the rain.
Oh, that's going to be so much fun. See you on the dance floor.
Yeah.
Yes, take out more chairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
That's
yeah,
gonna
but
be-
You know.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
are taking out the chairs. So the first 7 rows in the Theatre Royal are going to be out. So
No, take 20 out.
Yeah.
This guy. I know.
it's a technical challenge. But yeah, so everyone who went to raves in the 90s should
Yeah.
come to the Theatre
So,
Royal for the butterfly who
okay.
flew into the rave.
All righty. Thanks for that. Don't sleep much.
He'll be up early for that one. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
That's great.
Fantastic
Appreciate
to hear about your backgrounds. But amazing amount of events and variety, and great to see that things are trucking along nicely. So
Yeah.
well done to you guys, and good luck with the festival coming up.
Thank you.
Thank you
Yeah,
very
and
much.
really,
Very excited.
can I just say, our team is amazing, and I'm in awe of every single person I work with. And yeah, so I
Yes.
feel like Kerry and I are really, we are set up for success by the people we work with.
Absolutely.
And yeah, so all kudos to our artistic director, our general manager, our head of business and operations,
The team.
our tech team. Everyone is amazing. And I can't wait to see our team expand into 40+ people when our volunteers and tech crew
No.
join us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Good luck with it. Thank you very much for coming in. A heartfelt thank you to Annie Pokel and Kerry Sunderland. You can find this podcast along with others at uniquelynelson.co.nz and talknelson.co.nz and on Spotify. Look for Uniquely Nelson. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to join us next time for more from Talk of the Town. This is Chris Butler and Simon Duffy signing off. Till next time, Nelson.
Stay awe-inspiring, accessible, and unmissable. Nelson Arts Festival.
Is that
That's us.
That's
And
the-
audacious.
I'm just
And
and
audacious.
audacious?
Yeah.
I think
I
it
know it's a
should
lot
be,
to read.
Audacious.
Come on to the-
or it's
it should be stay audacious now.
Stay audacious.
Audacious.
Nelson Arts Festival 2024.